Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will explain about reverse and sense in semantic.
Reverse and sense are the concept in the field of semantics, particularly in the study of meaning in language. The term reverse and sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next. Number 1. The relationship of the concept or object in the semantic. In semantic, the relationship between concept, word, and object is very important. Here is how they are. 1. Concept. A concept is mental representation or idea that we have about particular object or phenomenon in the world. 2. Word. Word linguistic symbol that we use to represent concept. 3. Object. An object refers to something that exists in the internal world, whether tangible or abstract. The relationship between concept, word, and object is dynamic and complex. Next slide. 2. Meaning, sense, and reference. Meaning, sense, and reference are concepts in the field of semantics that are used to analyze language and meaning. 1. Meaning. Meaning refers to overall significance or interpretation of a word, phrase, sentence, or discourse in particular context. 2. Sense. Sense is decision made by German philosopher Gottlob Frege in his theory of meaning. 3. Reference. Reference is the actual object, individual, concept, or entity in the real world to which a linguistic expression points. Next slide. 3. Kinds of reference. In linguistics, reference can be categorized in various types based on how they are referred to in discourse. Here are some common kinds of reference. 1. Generic reference. Refers to general causes of the thing or entities rather than specific instance. 2. Specific reference. Refer to particular instance, export, or example of a class of things or entities. 3. Anaphoric reference. Refer back to something mentioned earlier in discourse. 4. Categoric reference. Refer to something mentioned later in the discourse. 5. Distillate reference. Refer to something based on the text, such as spatial temporal deixis. 6. Identified reference. Refer to things that are not specific or known, often using terms like someone, something, or someplace. 7. Definite reference. Refer to specific identifiable entities that both the speaker and listener are aware of. Next slide. 4. Way of referring. Way of referring usually refer to ways you use language to refer to content object or concept. For example, in linguistics, way of referring can refer to different way of using language to refer to someone or something in a place. There are several example ways of referring in linguistics. 1. Referencing by nominal phrase. Using nominal phrases such as the car or that books to refer to specific object. 2. Referencing by pronouns. Using pronouns such as he, she, it, or they after the object has been introduced in the referred sentence. 3. Referencing by definite description. Using specific description to refer to object, such as the terrace, building, or the first president. 4. Referencing by demonstrative. Using like, this, that, this, or choose to indicate the object being discussed. All of the these of example of ways in language we can refer to something or someone in a semantic context. Next slide. 4. Affective context. A picky context in semantic refers to situation where our meaning of the word or process cannot be fully understood based solely in its literal definition. For example, consider phrases kick the bucket. Literally, this process means to kick a bucket. However, in a opaque context like idiomatic expression, it actually means to die. Understanding this meaning requires knowledge of the idiomatic use of the phrase. In linguistic and semantic, opaque context often involves idioms, metaphors, short terms, and other figurative language where the literal meaning differs from the intended meaning. Next slide, 5. Equative sentence. Equative sentences are the sentences show equality of equivalence between two or more things. They typically use from the verb to be during the two parts of the sentence. For example, 1. Mary is a doctor. The cat is a black. To knowledge its power, my sister is a are twins.
Okay guys, that are my explanation about reverse and sense in semantic. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will explain about the definition and type of speech acts: lectionary, electionary, perluctionary, direct and indirect speech acts, and the intersection of various speech acts in Pragmatic.
The definition and type of speech. Speech can be defined as the expression of thought and ideas through spoken word. It's a form communication that allows individuals to convey information, emotions, and opinions to others. Next slide. The definition and types of speech acts: lectionary, electionary, perlectionary, direct and indirect speech acts, and the intersection of various speech acts. Speech acts are the action performed by speakers through utterances. They can be broken down in different types based on their function and effect. Here are the main types of speech acts. Number 1. Lectionary acts. This refers to the literal meaning of the word spoken or written by a speaker. It involves the production of sound or marks that make up the linguistic expressions. 2. Electionary acts. This type of speech acts refers to intended meaning behind the utterance. It's about the speaker's intention or purpose in making the statement. For example, making a promise, issuing a comment, making a request. Number 3. Perlocutory acts. This type refers to the effect that a speech act has on the listener or reception. It is about impact or response generated by the utterance on the audience. For example, persuading someone to do something, conveying them of a viewpoint. Number 4. Direct speech acts. These speech acts have a straightforward, literal meaning, with no additional implied meaning. They involve a clear and straightforward relationship between the word spoken and the intended meaning. Number 5. Indirect speech acts. These speech acts involve the use of language in a way that recruit the listener to infer the speaker's intended meaning. Involves imply communication and often relies on contextual cues or shared knowledge between the interlocutors. The intersection of these various speech acts can be seen how speakers use a combination of lectionary, illusionary, and particularly acts to convey their message effectively. For example, a speaker may use a direct electionary act to issue a clear comment while also considering the potential perlocutionary effect on the listener to ensure complaints. Understanding different types of speech as their intersection can help analyzing and interpreting communication more effectively, whatever everyday interaction on or in more formal setting like literature or legal discourse.
Okay guys, that are my explanation about the definition and types of speech acts: lectionary, illusionary, perlusionary, direct and indirect speech acts, and the intersection of various speech acts in Pragmatic. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.